right, so now we're ready to start putting on fence rails. I always start with the top rail. I've already got my string established where the top of my fence is 52 inches. So what I'm going to do is my board is 6 inches wide. My top of my fence is right here. So I'm going to measure down 6 inches. Take my square. That's the bottom of my board. Earlier I mentioned those pressure clamps. I grab 2 of them. I come over here. I put the top of the clamp even with my line. I tighten it up so I can set my board on this. I don't have to have a second set of hands. And I go over here and I do the same thing. Now, again, we're talking about, now we're going to cut the board to length. So I measure from the outside of this board to the inside of this post is exactly 8 feet. So that's the same thing as center to center. When you buy the fence from us and we send it to you, we cut one end square and we pre-drill the holes for you. The other end we don't do because we don't know if you're going to be 8 foot on center, 8.25 inches. If your hole gets off, you hit a tree root or a rock moves your post over. So, and these are all longer than 8 feet. They're 8'4", so you can be off a little bit. So in this case, we're exactly 8 feet. So I'm going to measure 8 feet. And I can drill the holes right here so I don't have to do it out at the post. One other thing while we're here, typically a board has a pretty side and a less pretty side. I always like to put the prettiest side of the fence to the inside or to where you're going to see it the most. And a lot of times a board will have what's called a crown in it, where it's got a slight bow, not much, but a little bit. I like to, if there's ever a crown in the board, I like to have it crowned up, not down. This one I can see it's got a slight crown to the top. So this is going to be my top of my board. Take it here, set it on the clamps. It's in place. Now I have to grab my impact, and we have to have our screws. And this is why we want to have the deeper pouches. So it'll hold something and you can get your hands in there. So my impact. And also I like to level the tops. So because this is rough sawn oak, the widths of the boards can vary sometimes by a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch. So what I like to do is I like the tops to be even. So I'll raise that up just a little bit, hold the board with my thumb. Now it's square. I'll walk down here, make sure my mark works.